Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Scottie Show. Tonight, I have a very special guest, Ariel Perree. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. For the people that don't know who Ariel Perree is, who is Ariel Perree?
Ariel Perret. I am an artist. I'm a gamer. I sing, I write songs. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, but I'm living in California in the Bay Area.
Hey,
Yeah. I'm more so an introvert, so I feel like I put myself out there with my art, basically.
mm, I feel you. Yeah, especially like in I would say like the black content creator community. There's a lot of introverts, but
Yeah.
but we love to express ourselves through like different like entertainment, wait, like I like to do stand-up comedy, but then like when I'm off stage, people are like, yo, you're so quiet. Like I wouldn't even expect you to do like stand-up. But like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us are like, why do you think that some black content creators are like to themselves? Like, do you think it's I don't know. What do you think? Why do you think that reason is?
Um, Probably because of how we were brought up, actually. Like
Yeah.
in the black community, we're more so brought up to be, I
Obedient.
guess, yeah, obedient and be
Not being
quiet.
loud, not like,
Yeah.
yeah, because of your
Just to
parents
be
to give you the
safe.
whooping. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like what I was like, I was like going through that in my head like a while ago, because a lot of people would just be like, oh, you're so quiet and stuff like that. But I'm just like, I remember being a kid, I wasn't like allowed to be like loud. I would have
Yeah,
to like, yeah, I wasn't allowed to I could express myself, but the way my parents wanted me to express myself, you
right.
know, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. How long have you been streaming? How long have you been doing that for?
I've been streaming for 2 or 3 years now on Twitch. It's
Hmm.
basically when COVID started is when I started getting heavy into it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you like it? Because like I get on there sometimes, and then like I feel like it's this thing that you really have to be like consistent with, which I'm not really like
Yeah.
super good at being consistent with streaming. But how do you like the streaming community?
The streaming community is actually really dope, to be
Yeah,
completely honest. At me being the introvert that I am, it's really hard for me to make friends like in real life.
yeah,
So I feel like I've made some of my closest friendships now that I've been on Twitch. I've met people like around the world. It's pretty crazy to think about actually.
yeah. Like it's just crazy like how it like connects everybody. Then you have like these Discord chats. Like I just want to shout out a couple, I got really like hip to like the black like content creator streaming community through Uncle Struggle, Rashad
Mhm.
Stark, and then like them like supporting other, like female streamers and stuff like that. That's how I got hip to like you and a couple other female streamers. And then I'm seeing that y'all making music. Y'all doing
Yeah,
like y'all like we are so super talented. We don't only
we
just
are.
stream. We do. Do you think and this has like been like a really big like topic, with Gideon and stuff like that, and like
Mhm.
black content creators saying that these streaming platforms don't really big up like black streamers. Do you feel like that's that's real and like that's like really happening?
I do. I feel like that is a thing everywhere, really. I feel like people are
Yeah,
just now starting to realize that we are dope. Like we have
bro.
content that we can be putting out there. We're relatable.
Mm-hmm.
We're it's yeah. I feel
Look
like
at
it's just now
Kai
starting to
Sanat.
exactly.
And
Prime example.
he's still not not recognized by Twitch for some reason. But then you have like and like no offense to them, but like you have other streamers that can't even pull the same numbers or the same
Mhm.
crowd as him. But they don't want to give him like deals or give him like sponsorships and stuff like that. And even on YouTube, like you'll see it like on YouTube with black content creators, they get
Mhm.
treated differently than white YouTubers and stuff like that. Um, do you think that that will be fixed? Do you think that do you think that will still be a problem?
Um, I hope so. I hope it'll be fixed.
Yeah.
Um, But that I feel like that just comes with like us pushing. We gotta push the content. We gotta push each
Hmm.
other, you know?
Yeah.
We have to support, get our
Hmm.
people out there, make sure everybody knows that we have stuff, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Yeah.
Don't sleep
And,
on us.
bro, I swear. And then because it seems like like and then I feel like people are realizing now that all black people don't think the same. You know,
Hmm.
like we have like black people that are really into like the anime, the gaming and stuff like that. Like I remember when I was in like middle school and stuff like that, I got made fun of for like, I wasn't like one of those kids running down the hall, like I wasn't one of those kids like doing that.
Yeah.
I just got made fun of by my homies just for like an anime. Like they was
Yeah.
like, yo, anime is gay or whatever, or anime is like, I'm like, no, it's not. It's one of the best things ever made. You know what I'm saying? Like video games and stuff. Like people, like I wouldn't say like people got made fun of for playing video games, but certain video games, like you don't see
Yeah.
like playing Dynasty Warriors or like
Yeah.
playing like the Naruto games or the Dragon Ball Z games. What games were you playing? Growing up?
Growing up, I was a platformer gamer. I used to love Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yes,
That
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
was like my
Ratchet and Clank.
favorite game
Yeah,
franchise. I loved
yeah.
like Tekken.
Tekken's fire.
Um, I love Borderlands. I'm a big Borderlands fan.
Borderlands, yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah, those are some of my top games.
yeah,
Growing up ish, like
yeah.
before streaming.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank and like Jack and Daxter, like those were
Yeah,
like my two like
classics.
favorite, super classics. Yeah, you can never like go wrong with any of those. So when did you get into like making music? When did that like start off for you?
So I've been making music probably since I could talk, to be honest, since I could sing. But I just started recording. I think I recorded my first song on SoundCloud in like 2015, and then I kind of took a break from that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just starting to put more stuff out there because I've been writing ever since. Like I never stopped. It never stops. It keeps going.
Yeah. Like I remember like and then like when I did like the song submissions and when I heard your song, I was like, yo, like there's no one making a sound like that. And like I don't even like saying like the female rap space or female music space, but like just in that space in general, like I don't hear like that sound being made. So when I heard it, I was like, yo, this is giving me like, like I feel like super like nostalgic. Like I feel good like listening to this. Like my like
That
I
actually makes me really happy.
yeah like I feel like I'm not listening to something that's like it's different. Like it's not like about like the typical stuff of what like what's being propagated right now.
Mhm,
And like it kind of sucks though because like we don't like get like the alternative version of like what's being propagated in like the rap community when it comes to female rappers. Like
mhm.
how do you feel about that? Like do you like for music like not getting like the alternative perspective of like female music?
Um, I feel like it's the same idea as like with everything else. People just want to stay safe. Like they know this is what's
Mm-hmm.
bringing in the money,
Yeah.
so they don't really want to take a risk and go on down these other avenues, even though it's like stuff that people are probably gonna like. Like if you like the
Mm-hmm.
artist, you're gonna like their alternative stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like hopefully it's something that we'll dive more into in the future with these
Yeah.
bigger companies.
Mm-hmm. And I think that there's like I'm super hopeful, like especially like listening to like your music, and I hear other artists that make like a similar style. Because like as soon as I hear that, I'm like, oh, like I like listening to music that makes me feel good. Like I like you just like feel it in like your spirit. You just like, dang, like this is like some soulful. Like there's actually like substance to the music. You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like that is like even on the male like perspective, like music is missing. Like, and I talk about this a lot on my channel, like the male, even like the male like rappers, like there's substance missing. And then like I see
Mhm.
people like tweet about like, oh man, I'm so tired of seeing Drake or like Gunna or Young Thug like being like the main rappers are being pushed. Well, like there are other artists. There, do you know how many artists there are on the planet right now? And you're
There's a
talking
lot.
about I'm tired of listening to Drake and 21 Savage or Gunna. Like then that
Yeah.
means you're only getting fed what like mainstream media is feeding you.
You
And
only listen to the radio, basically.
yeah, yeah. And it's the same with streaming too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like you have like what mainstream pushes for what like the top streamers or whatever, and then you got millions of other streamers that that have to work that are working their ass off, but you're not giving them the chance because you just want to do what's cool right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, I feel like that's like how a lot of things are. But who were some of your music inspirations coming up?
Some of my music inspirations. I feel like every singer had a was very heavily influenced by like Whitney Houston. I also
Mm,
grew up with older people in my family, like my parents were older,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I have more of like an old school kind
She listen to
of,
like Sade and stuff like
yeah,
that.
like Sade,
Uh,
Tony Braxton.
Tony Braxton. Oh my God. Damn, Tony Braxton. That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember growing up, I actually really looked up to Aaliyah. Like she was like one of
Hmm.
my biggest inspirations growing up as a kid. Like when I
Yeah.
grew up, I wanted to be like her, basically.
No, she was the coolest. Like I remember like watching her when I was, like a little kid. Like we used to have like breakdance battles to Aaliyah's music. Like that's how much like I love like Aaliyah and like her like style. Um who else were you like listening to? Like and then like we can go into like modern day now. Like we
Mm.
can start from like who else were you listening to like back then?
Um, well, now I'm really big on Janae Aiko.
Mm-hmm.
She's really big.
Yeah.
I'm really big with also. I actually just found out about this artist named, I think his name is Jack James.
Mm.
I think he's from the UK,
Okay,
but
okay.
he has some pretty solid music out right now.
Is he like a big
Um,
singer? He's a singer type.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
he's from the UK. He's black dude from the UK. So he has like that. Like he probably sings like a fucking angel.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
It's nice. It's nice. The
yeah,
vibe is nice.
yeah, yeah. Hell yeah. What like if you could make a record with anybody, dead or alive, homies, if they're friends or not, who would you make like a record with? You can
Who would
name
I make
as
a
many
record?
people as you want.
That's actually a good question. I think it would actually be pretty dope to do like a song with Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, that's fire. Janae Aiko, didn't she make? No, she made a song with Absol. That was
Yeah.
Absol. Yeah, yeah.
Or somebody in that little
Yeah,
crew.
the
It
TDE.
would be
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah. Um, I think a song with Black would be dope too.
Yeah, that'll be fire.
Yeah.
He's a good singer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like to like really limit myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a really good question. But I feel like my vibe is more so like R&B, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's really a hard question to even like
yeah.
answer because like there's so many different artists and you're just like, yo, I don't want to miss this one. I don't want to because you might like,
Right.
yeah, yeah. And then you're like looking back on it like, dang, I should have said that one. But yeah, that's definitely like an open, super open-ended like question. So yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely feel you on that. What animes were you watching coming up? I see some in the background. I see a couple little posters.
So actually, I won't say I just got into anime, but I wasn't really big on anime as a kid.
Mm.
Um, I started watching anime when Attack on Titan came out.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I really like the adult dark kind of anime. So like
Hell yeah.
I like Attack on Titan. I like Demon Slayer. I
Yeah,
like
Demon Slayer.
that
Yeah, yeah.
show. Um, Another one. There's one that's really good called Psychopaths that not many
Yeah,
people
yeah.
know about.
Psychopaths is fire. Yeah, Psychopaths
Yeah.
is fire. Hell
Yeah, so
yeah.
that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm. Like like do you just like are you like more into like the like are you like into like the character backstory kind of thing, or are you more into like the writing and like the world of like the like those animes like how Psychopaths is, or when like they're like yo like we can tell just by your thoughts like you're gonna commit like a crime, like are
Yeah.
you more in like the creative writing process of it, or like how do you like determine whether or not you're gonna like this anime or not?
Probably a little of both actually. I feel like I'm really drawn to animes that start off with like a character
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a normal story and then something like really big happens to change
Mm-hmm.
their life, like their whole perspective on everything. And
Yeah.
then they like it's their journey on trying to figure out how to grow into like a new version of themselves type of thing. So,
Mm-hmm. I
yeah,
feel
I
that.
guess it would be story, it would be a little bit of background, a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel that. What was it like? So I know you say like you moved. What was it like, moving from St. Louis, which is did you consider that the Midwest? Do you consider St. Louis
Yeah,
now? Okay, so what was it like, moving from the Midwest to the Bay?
it was
Like,
a
how was that like that transition? Like,
it was a pretty big change, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah,
So the Midwest is very, we like to call ourselves a southern state. And
yeah.
not a southern state, but we really are kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a southern state. We got like the southern hospitality.
Super
Um,
conservative.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's
I,
just
I
a
live in the
different,
Midwest too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You're from Chicago, no?
No, I'm from Peoria. We're
Pure.
I'm like 2 hours, like 2 hours outside of Chicago. Do you know who
Okay.
Richard Pryor is?
Yes.
That's where Richard Pryor is from Peoria, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Like, was it like just like a really big like culture shock of like how they act compared to what was like
Definitely.
the craziest like culture shock that you witnessed, like when you first like moved there?
I feel like it's just the fact that everybody's so open out here. Like they're
Mm,
open to like different ideas, but then they're also a little
not
more
open.
entitled.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. Like I feel like back home we would be a little more um
Humble.
humble, yeah, like reserved,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll notice stuff but then we won't say stuff about it. But out here, if anything happens, you're gonna hear about it.
Mm,
Everybody knows.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the cost of living too is pretty. I would say like is a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Very big difference.
And then, would you say like are you surrounded by homeless people like around like your like? I would say that's a
Yeah.
big difference too. How
It's
does that
it's
like?
pretty bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say like how do you feel like because I have a mom, I have sisters and stuff. My sister used to live in San Diego, and she actually had to move out. She left California because
Mhm.
someone broke into her home around that I think it was a little bit before COVID. But and then like when COVID hit, she ended up just leaving because like when someone broke into her house. But um, do you feel like on edge when you walk out a lot of the time?
Yeah, very
Yeah.
much actually. I'm also very close to Oakland, and there's a
Ooh.
little more crime, unfortunately, in the
Mm-hmm.
area that I'm at. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you definitely got to be a little more careful, especially these days with everything that's going on. People are just scared. They don't really know what to
Yeah.
expect, and they're just kind
Yeah.
of doing stuff now, like as a
Yeah.
result.
Yeah, and like seeing like the videos and stuff of like what California and like seeing people get like robbed and things like that. I'm like, whew, like I don't even know how people
Yeah.
and I know it may not be like an everyday thing, but then like when like someone like me, when I see it like on the internet and it's like being posted on the internet, you think that that's like happening around people at all times, like every
Mhm.
single day. Like you think that like I would say like the internet tries to make New York or like California seem like Gotham City. Like, would you say like that's correct?
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's that bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do remember thinking like when I first moved out here that everything in GTA, I thought it was a joke, but no, everything in GTA, it's basically how it is out
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that's crazy. Like, and then when you're there, like, what is your mind? Like, what's going on in your mind when you're like, yo, this is like GTA. Like, how are you feeling on the inside?
Kind of like, is this actually happening? Like,
Like,
am I
are
just
people
making this
real?
up in
Like,
my
is this
right?
yeah,
Is this a
yeah.
simulation? Like,
Yeah, that's exactly like I feel like how a lot of people would feel moving from like the Midwest to like a big city like New York, or even when I go out to Chicago and see stuff like that, I'm like, is this a real human? Like, is this person like they just put this person here? Like was he like
right.
created in a lab? Like that's how like I feel whenever I go to like Chicago or another like big city and I'm like seeing something that like doesn't seem normal,
Mhm.
and but it's normal that everyone else that's been living there for like 20 years or like 15 years, that's like normal to them, and then they're like so desensitized to it, like
Yeah.
they just don't care, like, and it's so crazy, like
Which makes you feel even weirder because it's like y'all not freaking out about this.
you feel like you're in like you feel like you're in like you feel like you're the only normal person and you're like
Right.
looking around, yeah, you're like, dang, is everyone else like a robot, like and Like that's how I be feeling. Like I remember when I was in all right, so like my coach when I was in high school, my coach tricked me into joining JROTC. Cause like they're like, yo, if you join JROTC, you can ride in the Black Hawk helicopter. I'm like, I never rode in a helicopter. Like, so he got me to join it, and and then and then after it was over, I got off the Black Hawk. I was like, well, I'm about to go back to gym class, and he's like, no, you signed up for this class, so you got to like do it for like for like 2 semesters or whatever. And I was like,
Right.
dang. And then I'm in the classroom, and I'm like looking around, and like these people, they believe in like the military, they believe in, and I'm just and like they take it seriously. And I'm just like looking around, and I'm just like, all these people are robots, bro. Like, this isn't real.
It's wild to think about.
Yeah, and
Like,
I'm just like, I need to get out of here. Like, I'm going crazy. Like, I gotta get out of here. But so you do plan on making more music.
yes.
How was your writing process? Like what do you are you writing in the morning? Do you write in the middle of the day, at night? Like how is the writing process going?
It kind of just happens, to be honest. I'll be in the mood and I'll find like a track that I like and I
Mm,
kind of just play it over and over and honestly the melody kind of just comes into my head
mm,
and I'll like record the melody over the track and then I'll put words over it. Whatever
mm.
I feel like the track feels like.
Yeah. And are you like are you writing based like is it like just feelings that you feel, or like is it like are you like drinking or like smoking and you like feeling yourself? Like like how is that like when you're like writing like the lyrics? Because like I make music myself as well, and like sometimes like if I'm like drinking and I'm feeling myself, I'm like I'm gonna write a crazy song right here. Or like if I'm like I'm smoking, I'll get into like some more intellectual kind of like thing. Like what kind of like do you think about like the message that you're trying to like put out when you're writing music?
Typically I do, yeah.
Yeah.
um so usually it is what I'm feeling in the moment, but then sometimes there are times where I'm like living vicariously through someone else and I'm kind of like writing
Mm.
a story based off of
Mm-hmm.
what I think they would be going through.
Yeah,
So it just
yeah.
depends, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's kind of like and like I don't want to like make fun of like anime people, like because I've been a big fan of anime. I've been a big fan of anime since I was a little kid. But like I feel like a lot of people do that with anime. Like they
Yeah.
live vicariously through like their anime characters, and like they take on like that persona like of like, oh, this is what this guy would do, so I'm gonna do this. Like
Definitely.
like
That's why you see
yeah.
people doing the little Naruto run everywhere. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that is. How do you feel about the people that do that? Like, how do you feel? Like, is that like is that? Do you think that's like is that like corny? Is that like? And then like you have like guys are saying like oh like girls don't like guys that watch anime, but like they're doing the Naruto run. Like, how do you feel about guys that like actually do those kind of things? Like, I've been curious about that. Like, what do from your perspective? How do you feel about like guys that do those kind of things?
I feel like if that's what floats your boat, go for it.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing per se,
Yeah.
but if it makes you happy, by all means.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that. No, like me, I think it's like 100%. Like I'm like, bro, you got to get your priorities straight. Like, like you are not like you can't be like you pushing like 25, you about to be 30. You can't be running around like no Naruto character,
I
dog.
don't know anybody at that
Yeah, bro,
age.
I've seen videos. I've seen videos of dudes doing that. They look 25 plus because like they've been drinking Mountain Dews all day. And like, it makes you like look older because you're not, keeping yourself healthy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like me personally, like I think like I don't know. Like they try to like cope with something maybe. I don't know. Like I feel like a lot of people cope with childhood stuff differently, and like
Mhm.
them living like an anime character makes them feel better about every. They just need to go
Definitely.
to therapy. I feel like they need to they need to talk to somebody. That's how I feel about that. But like I said, like have you ever been to like an anime con, like a Comic Con, stream con, or things like that? Like have you ever been to those?
You know, I've been trying. I've been trying. I
I've never
tried
been
to
to
go to
one.
TwitchCon this year, but I wasn't able to. I tried to get some DreamCon tickets, but I wasn't able to. So
Yeah.
soon, hopefully. But
Yeah,
the
I've
way
always
the
wondered what those
stars
things
are
are like.
aligning for me right now, it's
Yeah.
not working out.
Do they like sell out? Is that like is that like one of the like main reasons? Because like I always like see like they'll either like sell out or like people can't get them. Like what? Like I don't know how that works. I like I said, I've never been to one, and like I just don't like know like how like those things operate. Like but
Yeah,
I do want to like see it like in person. I'm like, oh, I want to like see these things because I see
right.
it on YouTube and stuff, and they look cool. But like it's just crazy seeing people like fan over like because I feel like one day you're gonna be like a really big streamer and
Thank you.
you're gonna do your thing. You're doing like the music shit. You're gonna turn up. Like, how do you feel about people like praising like streamers and like bowing down to them and letting like girls spit in their mouths and stuff like how do you like look at like those kind of like how do you view like that? How do you feel about like the streaming community? Like with that like that like side of the community where they treat like the streamers like gods.
I feel like that's wild for
Yeah.
real. Like I did see the video of the guy letting the girl spin in his mouth, and I'm like,
Oh,
with this
God, that's disgusting.
pandemonium going on, you going
Yeah, that's crazy.
well, streamers are people. Like we
Mm-hmm.
live life just like everybody else. Like we're
Yeah.
not streamers aren't anything. Even if you're pushing like the big viewers and all of that, you're still
Mm-hmm.
a human. Like it's not that deep.
Yeah, yeah. And like I feel like what makes people gravitate towards like stream like even like before you like blow up like as like a smaller streamer like people love the fact that like even like with Kai Cenat like he doesn't flaunt the fact that he has like money. He still acts like he's a broke kid. Like he still acts like childish. He still does like and like he makes himself like seem normal. But people that know they like he got the little bust down rollie, the whole like like that whole thing, like, and I feel like he kind of like laid like a really good blueprint of how to not only keep on growing your fan base but like maintaining it. And it's how do you feel about people that like flaunt their wealth after they become like big? Like, do you think you should be more conservative with how you flaunt yourself, or do you think you should just do whatever you want, like from your perspective?
From my perspective, personally, I don't think I could ever be that kind of like if somebody to flaunt stuff. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not that serious to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it's just money, you
yeah.
know. Um, but I feel like if that's your kind of do, just do whatever you want. But that's not my
Mm-hmm.
thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I tend to stay away from people that do things like that just because it's not
Mm-hmm.
what I kind of vibe with. It,
Yeah.
it feels weird.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. I feel that. What are some of the I haven't watched any of your streams yet, but what are some of the games that you love to stream?
Unfortunately, Apex.
Apex?
Yeah, I'm on Apex
Yeah.
pretty heavy, like daily.
Damn, I suck at Apex. I like all right, look, I've been trying to get better at these like only one can survive like kind of games. Like I was like, all right, so I think it's just my fault. I was drinking and I was playing Warzone and it was like 1v3. And like I was like, yo, are these people about to really kill me? Like I just shut the game off. I got too scared. I was like, they gonna kill me. Like it gets way too intense. Like my heart was pumping. I was like, God
Yeah.
damn it. I was just like, they about to get me. Like do you ever like feel like do you think it's way too intense? Like, do you think those kind of games are like super like intense? Like how do you feel about them?
So I started off playing, like I said, Borderlands. I would play like story mode games. I would only be by
Mm-hmm.
myself. So I started playing Apex, I think maybe when I started streaming basically.
Yeah.
So like a couple years ago. And I when I started it, I didn't understand. Like you said, like it seems weird. Like this one person
Yeah, only
lives
one
at the
can live.
end. Yeah. But
Yeah.
then like once I got into it, once I started learning like the gameplay, the mechanics and all of it, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the intensity is what makes me attracted to the game. Like that,
Yeah,
it makes my heart race whenever I'm like in a heated battle. It's just
yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah. I'm also an Octane main, and I feel like people that are Octane mains
Ooh,
are known for being like really sporadic and
yeah, yeah.
adrenaline junkies.
I like Mirage. Mirage is my favorite character. I like doing like a little tricking thing, like boom, like you think I'm running that way, but I'm actually right here. Like that is like my thing. Like I like, and he has like my kind of like personality. Like that's who like that's how I am. I do like the Octane though, but sometimes I would get mad at the Octane because like I'll try to open a door. Next thing you know, like a little like gas bombs blowing up on me, and like I'm ended up getting clapped and I'm dead. Like I feel like Octanes are like way more strategic and like they just know how to like I feel like there's way more Octane winners than there are any other kind of winners. Like if you didn't use Octane, who else would you use?
Who else would I use? I'm very much a movement type of player. I also really like Bloodhound.
Bloodhound's
Um,
fire. Yeah.
so like when you use his ultimate, you speed up kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but you can also like kind of wall hack, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so Bloodhound, I really like Bangalore as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Um so I got a last few couple questions for you. How do you feel about space and aliens?
How do I feel about space and aliens? I actually love space and aliens. I
Yeah,
feel like
do
that's
you
a
think
little
it's
weird to
real?
say. Do I think it's real? I feel like there is way too much out there for it to not be real,
Mm.
to be completely honest. I don't think it's how we make it out to be,
Mm-hmm.
like little green creatures with the big eyes or whatever. But I
Mm-hmm.
do definitely think there's something more than us out there. There's too much for it to just be us,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing.
That's facts. I definitely feel the same. Like, I think that like it's like I feel like space is like everything, but like nothing at the same time. Like it's everything that we think it is.
Hmm.
Like it could be like the little green people, and it could be just like people like us too as well. And
True.
like I feel like it's like everything. Like it's because you got like the stars and you got like all these other like planets that I've never seen. Jupiter, I don't know what it looks like, but like in my like little in the books that we read when we were in school, they tell you this is what Jupiter or Uranus or like, so you have to just take it for like what they say it is, even though we haven't. I've never seen like these planets. Like only
True.
thing that we can see is the moon and the sun. Like, and it's so crazy that like, do you think it's crazy that they tell us like information and like even though you haven't seen it, you just have to believe it, kind of like the Bible. Like you gotta like, even though you haven't like yo, Moses, like he spread the Red Sea and stuff like I haven't seen it, but I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like they religiously like tell you things like in school, even though you haven't seen it, but you just believe it. Like, do you think that's how like what a lot of like society is like, just seeing like not seeing it, but you just believe it?
You know, I think about that all the time, especially like going back to how we were talking about how new bigger cities are like simulations.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think like what if like you're looking in this telescope and you see Jupiter, but it's not actually Jupiter? What if you're in a simulation, you know?
Yeah,
What if
and
they're just feeding you information and
mm-hmm.
putting these things in front of you to make it seem like it's real, but what if it's not?
Yeah, yeah, no, like that's how I feel about a lot of like stuff. Like I'm just like, and maybe the word Jupiter isn't the name Jupiter for that planet. Maybe
Yeah.
there's actually people on there, and they're like, "Yo, this isn't Jupiter, asshole. This is this is something else."
Great.
Yeah, but so for the people that that fuck with you, what when can they expect like new music? When do you go up on streams and stuff like that? Just drop that for the people.
So, I am working on new music. I actually have a new track out that came out this month, and it is now on Spotify called Fun and Games. Um, I am working on new music with people as well, so I'll have some features in the future.
Oh yeah.
No determined date just yet, but we are working on stuff. And I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on twitch.tv/Ariel Perree. And
All
that's
right.
ArielPerree.
Hell yeah. Ariel Perree, it was so good to have you here. I'm glad that we
Thank you.
did this. Thank you for submitting your music. I love finding out about new artists and stuff like that. And like, I definitely encourage a lot of people to like submit music to any kind of like platform where someone is actually like, reviewing it, because you never know, like someone's gonna actually like it and gravitate towards it and show love. So yeah, keep on doing your thing and like keep on putting yourself out there. You're definitely gonna be doing good things in the future. I definitely see it for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Ariel Perree. Thank you for showing up to the Scottie Show. Peace out.
Peace.
Hey, hey.